What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about my 1-year ownership update, some of the things I like, some of the things I wish were different. Here we go. So as of tomorrow, I have owned this truck for 1 year. Frank Ford delivered this truck to me January 12th, 2016. So I wrote down some notes of what I like about it, some updates, details, things I'd change, stuff like that. I've been writing these notes for a year, so that's pretty cool. I also went back and watched the 6-month ownership update and kind of used that as a point of reference, see if I could update, see if anything changed. Anyway, let's get to the list. So first on the list I have here is MPG, which I get asked about all the time. The MPG has actually gone down on the truck from my 6-month update to now. There has been a change in driving habits. It's literally to and from work most of the time and a lot of idling. So I think that's driven the number way down. I'm going to do a 100-mile highway test with the 93 octane. I talked about that in my other video. So we're going to see if it's just because of what I'm doing or if the mileage is really, gets worse the longer you own it. So the MPG is right now quite low. I'm around 10 to 11 MPG. In the other video, I think I was between 15 and 16. So it's gone down quite a bit. Next thing on the list is suspension. I hear some people complain about the TRD Pro suspension. It's bumpy, stuff like that. I don't even notice the suspension anymore, to be honest with you. I'm so used to driving this truck. It's actually not that bad. Especially, I said this in my last video too, at high speeds, like when you're driving on the highway, it just rides over bumps. It's a really nice ride. Now that I have the FRS is extremely bumpy, so this actually feels awesome. Another thing about the Tundra TRD Pro, I really appreciate this truck when it comes to bad weather. So recently we had a lot of snow. And that's just when, it's just fun to drive this truck. A lot of people struggle to get to and from work. I mean, this thing could get through the Armageddon. So, I really, really appreciate the truck when bad weather hits. It's really solid. Another great thing is the 38-gallon fuel tank. That is just the best invention of all time. I never go to the gas station, especially with the local driving that I do. Man, I could be on the same tank of gas for like over a month. And I'll fill it just because. But yeah, that 38-gallon fuel tank is awesome. And it's available on all Tundras now, I think. I'm not sure about the SR, but I know the SR5 and up, it's on there. Might be the SR5 upgrade package and up, but it's on most of them. So just check out your sticker, talk to your dealer, stuff like that. Here's one that you're going to laugh at or shake your head. I don't know which one, but the remote start system. I'm the biggest hater of this remote start system. Well, I've grown an appreciation for that remote start system because it's been so cold and I've been working weird hours to where I'm going to work at like 3 in the morning and it's like 4 degrees. So as much as the remote start weirds me out with you have to turn it off to get into the car and start the car again, I appreciate it a lot, especially recently. So it could be worse. I could have no remote start, so I'm going to stop crying and start liking. So remote start has definitely grown on me. The tires, I recently learned, are questionable in the snow and two-wheel drive situations. A lot of people were like, well, any vehicle is going to be bad in two-wheel drive in the snow. You're right. You're going to have some issues in two-wheel drive in the snow, especially when it's rear-wheel drive. But it was just slipping a lot more than other tires I've had on Tundras, and that's the kind of thing I was going after. This is a TRD Pro Tundra. This is, as close as you're going to get to the... I'm going to get comments on this one. This is like the Raptor of Toyota, but not really. This thing's supposed to do desert running and hardcore off-roading, and I don't know. I just like those BF Goodrich all-terrain KO2s that you actually could get on the 2015 TRD Pros as an upgrade. You get those tires with the simulated beadlock TRD wheels. I wish they were standard on this truck. So tires, it's the same tires that are available on the TRD off-road. So that's kind of another thing. It should be a separate tire that's specific to the TRD Pro, but that's just me. Moving on. sway bar that I installed on this truck and installed on my last Tundra really tightens the truck up. It helps with a lot of body roll. It makes it great in the turns. I strongly suggest you look into it if you have a problem with the way the truck feels. It really helps with the handling a lot. For $300 and half hour to 45 minutes of your time to put on, it's worth every penny. Another thing that is an update, I was always not a fan of the seats. I always felt they were uncomfortable. A little like it's leather, but it's kind of like a real stiff leather. I'm changing my tune on that. I actually love the seats. They've broken in quite a bit. And, you know, I'm a fan. This seat feels great. So after a while, you know, they become very comfortable, at least in my opinion. Last thing on the list before I go to the second list, because I made another one of things that we need to get on this truck, I really like the navigation. I'm not ashamed to tell you that the other day I was coming home from work and they detoured my normal ride home and I had to take all these weird back roads and I actually got lost in my own town. So I had to pull over and pop on navigation, and it's awesome. Everything is easy to use. I don't know if they updated the system or not as per like my older truck. I feel like it was a lot easier to use than my 14, but like the little center screen you have in between your tack and all that, when you're about to come to a turn, it pops up on there, you know, turn coming, left turn with the little how many miles, or yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, the navigation is great and it's easy to shut off and you get the voice, you can turn it down. It's awesome. Navigation, high five. All right, so this next part of the list is the stuff that I feel this truck needs as per my last year of owning it. Now with the 2018 remodel coming out, a lot of this might be covered, but it's still worth noting, and through the year, this is kind of the stuff that I wrote down and felt. So, first thing is I feel like it needs a lifetime miles per gallon reading. There are other brands out there that offer that. Like you can get your miles per gallon and it'll show you how you're doing on it. But other trucks will show you your miles per gallon, your instant miles per gallon, and your lifetime miles per gallon. So right now I'm going between 10 and 11 mpg, but what's the lifetime? I would always like to see the lifetime no matter what you do, especially because I reset my clock for trips and stuff like that. So, you know, for future, that would be a nice easy thing they could do that would be awesome for us. Secondly, kind of on that too, I want an individual tire pressure reading on the center screen as well, telling me how much PSI is in each tire. I mean, that comes down to, you know, enhanced safety. And Toyota's all about safety, so that's something I hope to see in the future. I think that's available on other Toyota models, so hopefully it comes up to the Tundra. Because when you're in a big truck like this, you know, your PSI really matters. So, another thing for this truck, I would like to see blind spot monitoring with cross traffic alert. Just because the truck is so big and, you know, I'm used to how big the truck is, the way to drive it, the way to turn it. You get used to it after a while. But I've had other people driving the truck that aren't used to a big vehicle like this, and they don't know if they're going to hit a curb or not. And in my 6-month update video, I talked about that blind spot you get on the right because the truck is lifted up. So it's really hard to see if you're too close to a curb or if you're going to rub a curb. So, you know, blind spot monitoring and stuff like that. You get a little bit of a blind spot back here. It would just be nice to have, you know. I mean, the future's now. All this stuff is available pretty much, you know, everywhere. So, you know, I'm sure they'll upgrade it. I mean, I know it's available on some of the Tundra trims, but, you know, when you step up to the TRD Pro, these are some of the things I would like to see. I didn't write this down, but I'm just thinking of this right now too. I would also like to see a blinker on the outside of the mirror, just so people know you're turning at it right next to you, because it's pretty long, it's pretty tall. Blinkers on the mirror would be good. This one I've heard about for a long time, and I know you guys will say hell yes to this. Grab handle. Right here on the driver's side, helping you get in and out so you don't have to slide off your seat and grab the steering wheel. Because eventually that's going to ruin your seat, and you don't want to mess the steering wheel up either, whatever you could do to it. They had the grab handle in the 7 to 13, and they took it away for the 14s and up, and I don't get it. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me pull you down here real quick. Let's see. You see the grab handle right there, okay? That's still on the passenger side. It used to be over here, and it's not. So we definitely need that grab handle back, Toyota. Hook us up. Next on the list, updated headlights and fog lights. Someone was talking to me the other day. I've actually heard this a few times. They feel like the 7 to 13 headlights are better than the headlights offered now. Maybe, but the headlights, they definitely could be better. It might be time to upgrade to something, you know, HID or whatever. It's worth, if they have to charge a little extra on the total price of the truck, it's worth it. You know, headlights are obviously super important. So the last thing I have, this is more me, because I had to put a little bit of me in this. You know, I would love a moonroof, you know, love a moonroof right here, and a power sliding rear window, because if you're a driver of the double cab, you can't even reach it. You'd have to pull over to open and close it. It would just, you know, the moonroof is just the joke. It's me. I just would like one personally. But for all of us, that rear window in the center back there, power sliding, hit a button up here. It's available on the limited trim, I believe, in the double cab. They have the power sliding rear window. So why not in this truck? It just makes it easier, and I would love to put that window open a lot more, but because I can't reach it, I usually don't. So there it is. My first year of owning this truck. Some of the things I like, some of the things I didn't like, some of the things I feel the truck needs. I thank you guys for watching throughout. My 6-month Tundra update video is my biggest video, has the most views. It's somewhere between 35 and 40,000 views. Let's make this one go a little bit further. So please like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever else you got to do. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please comment below, or you could find me on Twitter and Instagram at TundraDude34. I'm going to end this video with a bunch of pictures I took of this truck over the last year. Have a good one, guys.